Oh, hey there. So, in general, I'm a kind-hearted person. Okay. In general, I try to put other people before myself, and I try to think about their side of things, and I try to do unto others as I was having them to do unto me. And when somebody's mean to me, I'm like, maybe they're having a bad day or whatever. And so, because I come from that mindset, and it's been so long, then it's difficult for me to go. There are probably people out there with malicious intent. Okay. However, this is something I was just talking to somebody on the phone, and we were talking about sports, and I'm like, yeah, I heard that the Fort Worth Mavericks are a great football team, and I hope that they win the Stanley Cup. I think if they stay under par and get enough RBIs, then we'll be in the running. And of course, he's like, everything that you just said is wrong. I'm like, I know, it's intentional. Like, it's difficult to get that many things wrong on accident. There's a reason for this. So he said, I'm a horrible football fan. He said this. And I was like, tell me more. And he goes, I watch football only to watch somebody else beat the Cowboys. And every time somebody else beats the Cowboys, I cheer because I'm so happy that they're getting beaten. And I'm like, really? You really think that? Like, that gives you joy to watch somebody lose? And he goes, yeah, but I mean, like, technically I'm rooting for the other team, so it's not that bad, right? And I'm like, whatever. So this happened this week, okay? I've been trying to get this neighborhood built in Kennedale, where I live. And they keep on and on and on and on with like, just one more thing, just three more things, just five more things, just 10 more things. This has been going on for 4.5 years. I'm $1 million deep into this project. And they keep on with more and more and more things. It's petty stuff. And I understand the government is filled with lots of petty things. I don't know why, but I'm putting in a sewer, okay? I'm putting in a very expensive sewer at my cost with a lot of manholes at my cost, which shouldn't be my cost, but nevertheless it is. And the inspector keeps making us take pipe out that we put back in over petty little things. Now you got to swab the pipe. You got to run a camera down the pipe. You got to do this test and a pressure test, which we did all that, right? And we passed all that. And then he made us do a camera test again. And while he was doing this camera test, he says to the camera guy, the camera inspector was the third party, I hate this contractor and I hate this owner. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make this as miserable and painful and expensive and time consuming as possible for them. And it turns out that the camera guy is friends with my sewer guy, who is friends with me. At which point I heard that and I was like, well, now that's not the nicest thing you could have possibly said. Also, probably a dumb move in general for a government employee to say that about a citizen of their town. A citizen who puts a lot of money in this town, like 7 figures money into this town, and who is capable of doing so much more for this town. Why in the world are you trying to hurt me intentionally? Like, trying to hurt me intentionally. So I went to his boss. I said, look, we've all said things that, could get us in trouble. I'm not trying to make a thing out of this. I just want to be able to build my own houses with my own money on my own land. Can we just stop this so I don't have to make a thing out of it? And he's like, well, it's not my department. I'm like, okay. So then he'd send me to the right department. I go talk to that guy's boss, who I know. And I was like, hey, this happened. Once again, not trying to make a thing out of it. I could make a thing out of it. I don't want to. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I just want to be able to build my houses. Can we put this thing to bed? I didn't answer by the end of the day. And he goes, well, I'll see what I can do. I'm like, see what you can do real hard. I'm done playing this game. And he goes, okay, I'll see what I can do. So later on that day, I call him. He doesn't answer. He doesn't return my call. So I call the mayor. I'm friends with her. And she goes, I certainly hope that you're just calling to wish me a Merry Christmas. I'm like, Merry Christmas? She goes, that's not it though, is it? I'm like, that's not the only thing. I do want you to have a Merry Christmas. And then I told her, I was like, I'm sure that you don't want your town represented like this. She says, no, I don't. And I'm like, well, can we please end this? Can we please just, I don't want to make a thing out of it. I don't want to, whatever. And she's like, let me talk to some people and see what I can do. And the next morning they said, fix these 2 more things and then we'll be good. I'm like, can you put that in writing? Because I've heard this for years now. He's like, yeah. So he sent it to me in writing. We were going to do it today, but it rained hard. But I did think that it was interesting. It's interesting to me that somebody takes pleasure in making somebody else's life miserable, right? It's so foreign to me that I'm just like, really? And look, if you do, don't go tell somebody that could tell the person that you're saying that about, because you can get in a lot of trouble for that. Just saying.